Welcome back to the show, everybody. Let me just tell you right now, XRP's jumping off this morning, up more than 8% in the 24-hour. We're going to get into it. We got Ripple partner going public near term, and how about this? Tapping into a $40 trillion market? We like it. Ripple gets a new central bank and so much more. Somebody just roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. And it is a beautiful intro. Shout out to Mike Jansen for that. He does amazing work. We love Mike. And it is $1.32 trillion market cap for crypto, Bradley. The market is up 0.1%. And we see Bitcoin 34,400 plus, off by 0.2% in the 24 hours, sitting flat on the 7-day. Ethereum 1,800, almost flat and change here, off by 0.5% in the 24 hour, off by 1.4 in the 7-day. Tether market cap 84.5 billion plus. However, look at XRP here. Operating outside of Bitcoin dominance is why I showed you those percentages on the 24-hour and 7-day here. XRP is operating alone, up 4.7 in the last hour, 7.9 in the last 24, and 9.2 on the 7-day. So whatever's happening here appears to me, from the numbers, to be very specific to XRP and not the whole market here. Very interesting to note. So I wanted to make highlights of that. Let's see what the range of price is. Ranging between 56 and 61 cents here. This is where we are this morning. We know that this is a crucial point to stay above 55. We're going to take a look at some TA before we get out of here as well. So let's get started here. It's I Trust Capital, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. How many times have I been to, my pop Robert, man, my stepdad. I was so lucky. I had such great step parents and real parents. I was very fortunate in that regard. My pop Robert used to say all the time, "Boy, I talked to you till I got tears in my eyes as big as horse turds, and you still don't listen." Who's not listening out here? I Trust Capital is the best gold and silver crypto IRAs on the planet, ladies and gentlemen, bar none. If you don't believe me, just click the link and start engaging with them and find out for yourself. If you had a recent job change, you need to change over your 401k, move that stuff around, you can easily roll that over into your iTrust, get your own back office, looks just like this, and control it. Be the master of your own future. I love it. You can do it right there. Oh boy. And speaking of which, this may be another reason why you want to be a master of your own destiny here. Listen to what they're saying here at the Fed. Shout out to Jungle for this one. Something's going to break soon.
I said we are in completely uncharted territory. Things are going to get worse next week because of the fact that the Fed is totally out of control and they don't know what to do next. Ooh. So you are absolutely correct. I think unintended consequences are going to happen. I've been saying that on your show for quite some time, whether it be a huge bank failure, whether it should be pension funds losing a lot of money, commercial real estate suddenly worsening, or a CLO, commercial loan market, and levered obligations having difficulty, somewhere things are going to break. And rather than expecting 3 to 6 months, I'm going to say within the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Wow. That is not good, as they say. No bueno, my friend. But listen, we know a moment like this is coming. We don't know whether it's going to be in the term that he suggested or not. But shout out to Chad also for this. But here's what I want to say. This is what we're waiting for. And not like we're not asking for it. It's just the markets are cyclical, right? Nobody's sitting home chanting and waiting for this stuff. We're trying to be prepared. And the point of this is to not just be prepared to get through a down moment. It's to be so prepared that you can invest while you're in these down moments of correction and collapse, right? And not to mention being in places where you know that your assets and your portfolio is safe as well. Then there's this. And I think that this correlates perfectly. It's why we're going from the bad news to this news. Martini guy says breaking: BlackRock bought Bitcoin. BlackRock told the SEC last week it will buy Bitcoin to fund its Bitcoin ETF in October in preparation for approval. BlackRock has begun seeding its ETF. Now, way I see that there is this, is like you just heard the bad news here, and then you just saw how the big guy is opening this up for their clients so they can hedge the bad news that's coming. You know, I just did a video yesterday with Andy Sheckman from Miles Franklin. Shout out to Andy. Remarkable conversation. I love talking to that guy. And you know what? We're going to do it more on the regular soon. But what I can say is that, you know, looking at what that gentleman just told us in the clip before about something bad coming, we talked about this and whether we're going to see a bailout or bail-in of banks. And I believe that what you're seeing here, because BlackRock is simply just opening up the ETF offering once it's approved to their clients, it will be a way for them to sell a hedge to their portfolio and the damage they're taking to a market collapse or correction. And then here we have the narrative. This right here says, Bitcoin just in provides you with risk mitigation in a world where bonds and equities are both selling off. This is from Mohammed Arian. Forgive me, Mohammed. I've just destroyed your name, and I did not mean to. Certainly a very smart guy, and I appreciate his insights. Chief economist at $2 trillion. This is the kind of correction we're talking about here, right? Bitcoin, safe haven asset, flight to quality is what Larry Fink called it. Again, I have said this. I've always said if they let Bitcoin live, it will be used to hedge a traditional market collapse. The narrative is being written as we speak. Don't believe it. It's still true. And here's more evidence that the financial system is moving towards this new system and revolution of change, like distributed ledger technology. Major market infrastructure completing migrations to fully fledged effective Q4 2023 for ISO 20022. Shout out to Rohit Q for this. It says here they should promote, monitor, incentivize the mitigation to structure customer data with the targeted end date of November 2023. With the major market infrastructures completing their migration to fully fledged ISO 20022 effective Q4 2023, it says the global demand for structure party information for all parties in the payment messages will become the new normal for more than 80% of all high-value payments by November 2023 globally. November 23 should be targeted by all communities as the end date for unstructured customer information payments, regardless of their format, ISO 20022, FIN, or native clearing. So that is the target there. And we know that we are living in what Swift refers to as a coexisting phase. So that's where we are at the moment. And Ripple working with the Hong Kong Monetary Authority. We know this, but I just want to show you this because it's great to see from Matthew Linai here. Hong Kong Monetary Authority, Ripple Labs, settlement of tokenized assets, Fubon Bank. We know the relationship there, but what a remarkable sight to see. While all of this is happening, I chalk this up to more setting the stage for network effects. We'll get to that in a second. Thailand's second largest bank has acquired a local crypto exchange. Indeed, it says known as K-Bank has acquired 97% of shares in the country's Satang Corporation. The game is on. That's right. When you see the largest bank acquiring a crypto exchange, it means we're headed in for business, baby. Yeah, could add up to network effects. But you know what? Here's what's going on right here at home. Shout out to Paul Barron here. Now, fortunately, we've known that Elizabeth Warren, unfortunately, we've known that Senator Lummis has been a little less than straightforward about what's going on, but I don't think she's wrong about Tether. But take a listen to this clip here.
Championing the future of blockchain and innovation, and that, of course, is Cynthia Lummis and her betrayal to the blockchain industry. Listen in.
Whoa.
Senator Warner, this is an area where crypto is being used to finance terrorism. Let's get after Binance and Tether. These are offshore companies that are financing illicit activities and terrorism.
There you have it. There's the call to action, ladies and gentlemen. And I've often said, In order for us to have a healthy, regulated crypto space, don't we have to have the answer to what USD Tether is going to be? Is it going to live outside of that regulatory framework? Is it going to live inside that regulatory framework? Because it looked like it just got a bullseye put on its back, right? That's what it looks like to me. Then here we have Pegah Soltani and Naveen Gupta sitting here. You're going to want to hear this clip. Let's take a quick listen here. This is the contrast between working within the system, even though you're being sued in the U.S., and working on the outside of the system, not showing your reserves like Tether properly and the rest of it. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people that believe, as I do as well, that Tether has been compromised since at least 2019, maybe even sooner, by the Department of Justice, maybe even the U.S. Treasury as well, and they've been tracking all these payments like the conversation I had with Raoul Pal. Let's go ahead and do this right here.
No, exactly. And I just wanted to add, I think with crypto also convincing people, part of it is the education piece as well when it comes to our partners, because I think when we would first start talking about our product that uses XRP in it, there was some education that XRP is like any other money. It's not necessarily dirty, etc. And people care about like, okay, who else has had this XRP? So the liquidity venues we talk about, but I think there was this connection that people had to make that it's not different than the US dollar that changes hands. In some ways, actually, it's even more traceable, to be honest with you. So there was like a getting comfortable with the concepts piece as well with our partners.
Yeah, I think the perceptions totally changes. I totally agree with your comment this morning too in your introduction when you said that earlier banks used to be like crypto and like try to have a different image about it. But now with all the pre-validation on the AML and the images, the perception's totally changing and there's more trust building around it. So that's great. So
a year and a half.
Listen to what this gentleman talks about, how ultimately crypto is the replacement for debt. We are moving from a debt-based system to an asset-backed system. He's going to say it here.
Get your devices certified for unattended vending. And so there we simply provide crypto options. So there is no other option that can be done in an economically feasible way. So there is that. The combo is available mostly in EU and the US and also parts of Asia. That's really where the combo is available. Also, there is the nature of payments is a bit different. When we talk about card, really you're talking about a credit instrument being available. And so that in itself assumes relatively advanced capital markets to allow that credit to be available. In certain cases, whenever we talk about cryptocurrencies, that's most likely replacement. Well, it is the replacement for the debit network.
It is the replacement for the debit network. That is exactly right. And Pegah Soltani says in some cases, XRP has better priceability than the US dollar. Well, we're going to talk more about that in a second. But there's another central bank expected to partner with Ripple Labs. Shout out to Amalay for this. And it's the Central Bank of Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen. And it says right here, the CBN has prominently featured Ripple Labs, a San Francisco-based blockchain firm, as a valuable resource for insights into the realm of CBDCs. The move highlights the growing interest and potential collaboration between central banks and Ripple Labs. And I want to show you the report right here where it does say that. The growing expectations of central banks will issue a state-controlled digital currency in response to the rise of private digital currencies. Recent survey of 1,600 financial leaders across 22 countries, and 85% of the payment leaders at financial institutions globally think their country will launch a digital currency in the next 4 years. That came from Ripple's report, and we will watch that for closer ties. But then we see this here. The digital yuan takes a giant leap, breaking ground in its first ever use of oil in a transaction. 1 million barrels with the digital yuan bought, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're talking about. It is a big step to where everything is going. So we talked about that yesterday as well with Miles Franklin. But this is NEOM. And I want to show you the sizable market that Niam's about to get into here. And, and leave it to CNBC to try to poise an interview and a conversation from such a negative place. But the gentleman here from Niam absolutely crushes this segment. I want you to listen to what he says here about them getting ready to be 100 million profitable and getting ready to tap into a $40 trillion market. Check it out.
Probably the best time in my last 7 years of running Niam. This is the most enjoyable time I've had.
But you need to make a profit at some point. Correct. So what is the path to that for you? You're still a loss-making company. How do you get there?
Yeah, I think so for us, we are about 12 months away. So we've got a very clear path of profitability. Last time I was here at CNBC, I mentioned that we were 100 million gross revenue run rate. We are now 100 million gross profit run rate. Like if you see, the 12-month scale is phenomenal in the business. We're still focused on growth. We will become profitable over the next 3 to 4 quarters. Clear path on profitability. But that's what actually helps us to go public, and that's planned in over 2 years' time.
Okay. And just tell me a bit about
So they're planning on going public in over 2 years' time. They're going to be 100 million profitable in the next 3 or 4 quarters. I mean, this is exciting stuff here. And we know that Niam is one of the exceptional few among fintechs and outfits headquartered in Singapore that have managed to attain the status of unicorn, valuation over $1 billion. And then here, the global spend on business-to-business cross-border payments is set to exceed $40 trillion by the end of 2024, ladies and gentlemen. That's the market they're tapping into, right? That's why he's so happy to be where they are. The firm has introduced business corporate cards with Aspire, and Visa launched a crypto-as-a-service platform in the U.S. and select Asia-Pacific countries. Very excited for that Ripple partner right there. Network effects, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the price real quick here, because we are up 9% on the 24-hour, and most of that in the last hour, ladies and gentlemen. XRP short-term analysis, it says here that 55-cent mark is very, very key. So shout out to Eggrad Crypto for that, who has been telling us head on a swivel, and so is Dark Defender, and hashtag free DAI from both of those gentlemen, Dark Defender and Eggrad Crypto, and myself. And I know all of you too. Let's keep that trending on X. This guy has been wronged. He should be back there. The only thing I've learned about X platform is that this is not a place to build a community forever, because you can be wiped out and silenced without any recourse or reason for having it done. So here we see the expected pattern here. We're looking for things to get up above 60 cents here if it keeps going. This is exciting because we are above 60 cents, as he mentioned. We're at 60 plus right now. Let's look at Fiat Link one more time here. Things are rolling. Let's keep an eye on it. And before we get out of here, I want to tell you, don't forget to join the Freedom Zone. Go to digperspectives.com or click the link underneath the video and join us for less than the cost of a cup of coffee per month. 0 Google ads for the videos that I do every day on YouTube. You'll get them. No bots, no scammers, great comment section, incredible comments. And speaking of which, I want to highlight one right now. It's Brad Daniels. Shout out to you, Brad. It's a great comment from our interview and conversation with Andy Schechtman from Miles Franklin. Finding a villain at the foot of World War III, ? Gold, oil, XRP. What a great conversation it was. Brad says, thanks for the excellent video with incredible insights and insightful information. I'm convinced now that after this next bull run is over and we all take in our profits by dollar cost selling on the way up, as personal price points are hit, this video has convinced me to move those profits into gold and silver to hedge against what's coming. We've all done our homework on XRP, XLM, Quant, HBAR, and others. The accumulation is over. So bring on the bull run, baby. It's our time to secure our generational wealth we've all been patiently and diligently waiting for. As always, thanks for the video, Brad. Brad Daniels, thank you. And what a great comment. And there were so many to choose from that I picked him today. And I will be doing chat spotlights from inside of the Freedom Zone, ladies and gentlemen. And in this Freedom Zone today, we're going to go over network effects for Ripple, XRP, and the US dollar, and what network effects really means, and more importantly, what it looks like. That's going to do it for me. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. And I do want to remind you, DAI and I will be doing a live stream this week together. So you better join the group to hear it, because I tell you, this is going to be something to talk about. I'll catch all of you on the next one.